Look, if you don't love me, you should just tell me because it's such a problem. Why? Why won't you come? What are you so scared of?
It says in the passage that I've read that though God has decreed a thing, made a promise, or established His purpose in your heart, it often must be birthed in prayer if it has come to pass. You have to fervently pray for it and ask God if leaving your job is His will for you. In that way, you are giving God the authority and control in your life. By praying, your faith and trust is at work. It says in Proverbs chapter 16 verse 3, "Commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established." At first, I thought that I was just being sad and being unhappy because we were in the middle of the pandemic. Maraming nangyayari, lalo na last 2021. So I just brushed it off because naisip ko that I was being ungrateful, that I must be happy that I have a job amidst this pandemic. But the feeling of sadness and discontentment did not leave me. So, naisip ko, if I wanted to resign, I didn't want it to be out of an impulsive decision just because, I was sad. Sometimes, diba, we feel stressed out. If I was to resign, I wanted it to be God's will for me. So, for the next couple of months, I prayed for two things. First is clarity of mind, and second is approval of my family. Not that I can't make a decision without my family's approval, but as I've said in my previous vlog, I wanted to be a part of the family business. So, I had to make sure if they needed me. Kasi kung di naman pala nila ako kailangan, di wala akong trabaho, di ba? Wala naman akong pera. Wala akong funds for pursuing what I want. So yun, I had to pray to God and alamin kung kailangan nila ako. So the Lord's answer to me was this verse, Psalm chapter 37 verse 7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. And as I waited, the Lord prepared for the way for me. So last year, when I was waiting for a promotion, nasabi ko rin yun dun sa isang living alone vlog ko. So, nag-apply ako for a promotion and siguro mga August yun. And ang tagal kong naghintay and hinihintay ko siya last year talaga. And kung lumabas yung results last year, i-grab ko yung opportunity na yun kahit hindi ko naman siya gustong-gusto. But a week after the day I resigned, doon lumabas yung results and yun nga, nakuha nga ako sa promotion. Pero hindi ko siya tinanggap kasi alam mo yun, I've crossed the line and buong-buo na yung decision ko na that I will leave and I will face a new life and I will face the choices that I have made for myself. I'm happy with my decision and I have no regrets because I know this was God's answer to my prayers. It can be a loved one, your best friend, or your mentor from the church. What's important is that they'll give objective advice because we can be clouded by emotions when we want to leave something. Maybe your issues from your job can be resolved within yourself or your colleagues. Thankfully, that's the kind of advice that my Bible study fellowship leader gave me. She did not tell me to resign right away after hearing my story, but said that I needed to pray for it first, to ask God if it is His will for me. I also consulted with my mom, and it was an answered prayer. When I told her my plans, she said that it would be a great relief on her part because now she can share her duties at the business with me. When I made the list, I asked myself this question: will this decision help me achieve my goals? Will this lead me to the path that I want to take in my career? In my case, resigning from my 8-to-5 job and working for my family will support me in my creative pursuits. I made the pros and cons list last November of 2021, but I wasn't sure of my decision until February this year. The list did not give me that clear vision right away, but it somehow pointed me to the path that I should take. For this vlog purposes, I'll rewrite what I wrote last November. I've noticed in my prose list that it's more focused on my dreams and aspirations while I was growing up that just resurfaced again now that I'm in my 20s. Here are some of the things that I've written in my list. Giving my full attention to building an Etsy shop, creating vlogs, and more time to my spiritual, mental, and physical health now that I don't have to keep up with the fast-paced city life anymore. The significant factor in my cons list that made me second-guess my resignation was that I was leaving the relationships that I've built in the office for 2 years. I won't see my friends anymore on a regular basis, and that made me really sad. Another thing is that I'll be taking a big risk in my career because I will be starting over again and testing new waters. I've done the 3 things that I've mentioned, but what was lacking was courage and confidence. Courage to say it to the office, and confidence to decide on that major life decision. I was scared of the opinion that my boss and colleagues would tell me, so I delayed my resignation up to the point that I thought I didn't want to resign anymore. Thankfully, my boyfriend would always remind and encourage me to make the first step in resigning, and that is to draft a resignation letter. I prayed to God, and I mustered up all the courage and confidence that I need so that I can finally tell it to my boss. Praise God that he received it well, and we had a long and a great conversation. I was relieved because there were no ill feelings and they supported my decision. They were happy because I was brave enough to choose what I want in my life. I was delighted that they received it well, since their opinion was also important to me, considering the fact that for the past 2 years, they helped me grow not just as an employee, but also as a person. That day, I cried in the car on my way home, and it was both tears of joy and of sadness. Tears of sadness because I had to leave the relationships that grew and developed within the 2 years of my stay. Tears of joy because I was also about to leave and face a new chapter of my life, focusing on and pursuing my dreams.
Sige ako. Huwag ka tumingin. Ayoko tumingin. Angel, takot ako. Alis ka.